Welcome students of Form 3, and this could also be very well helpful, especially for Form 5, because they are in their examination year. And when I'm recording this video, next week they will, I think, oh no, yeah, Thursday, like the day before yesterday, they had their first exam, and their social studies exam is coming up, their paper 2. So this could be very, very, very helpful for you guys too. Well, I select the marker. I make use of the CXC examination program. So if you're watching this from outside of Curacao, also very helpful for you. The examples, not so much. And I work for the Sky Pre-University, Pre-Universitario. That is a humanist school making use of the CSEC system coming from the CXC and mainly the British-speaking, English-speaking Caribbean. And we're talking about part 10 of chapter 3, and in specific the relationship between citizens and government. So how do they influence each other and how do they relate to each other? That's an important one. The relationship, the interaction, the connection between citizens, ciudadano, and gobierno, government. Y relacionar y conexión between citizens, ciudadano, y gobierno, government. We're talking about this, and you can find this. It would be very smart to take this in front of you in your booklet. Yeah, there I have here two called Social Studies for CSEC. Take it in front of you, this book, and you can find this paragraph also on page, if I'm not mistaken, and I don't believe so, on page 56, like you can see here, page 56. If you're smart, and you guys are smart, then you take in front of you that page of the book. It's very smart because you can better see what I'm actually talking about. And the learning outcomes, that's the whole point of this video, and this part 10 of chapter 3 is at the end of this topic. You will be able to, so when you've watched this video, you are like a step further towards that achievement, describe the relationship between citizens and governments as stated in the Constitution. So that Constitution is very important because that is like the foundation, fundamental, a foundation of that relationship. Because that it limits that relationship, it defines that relationships, it describes that relationship, it makes it legal. What is actually the connection? What are the obligations of citizens? What are the obligations of government? What are the freedoms of the citizens? All those and the limits of government are described in what is called the so-called Constitution. A lei fundamental. Ding papiamentu, and in Dutch de grondwet. And in English, it is the very important document is called the Constitution, which defines the relationship between government and its citizens. Gobierno y non ciudadano. Yeah, is defined by the Constitution. We will come back a lot in this video and in the next two videos about that Constitution, a lei fundamental, or in Dutch, de grondwet. Yeah, what is a constitution? Like you can see here, what is a constitution? A constitution is a set of fundamental principles, principio non, principio, principles, so things you will not change, you won't do this differently, that's a principle. The principle is like a foundation, we won't change that. Principles according to which a country is governed, I would say, and it's correct. Respected to which by which a country is governed, gobernar. In Dutch would say bestuurd, governa, governed, ruled, you could also say in English, but governed is made better, and includes laws and guidelines that ensure that the Constitution is upheld. So the Constitution are the principles, but there are also laws written down to uphold, to apply, to make sure those principles keep existing. So a Constitution is a set of fundamental principles according to which a country is governed, and which includes laws, lijnen, that make sure that the Constitution is upheld. So that is really important. Principles, governed, laws, and guidelines. Those are really important parts of my explanation here. Yeah? So Constitution is a set of fundamental principles according to which a country is governed, which includes laws and guidelines that ensure that the Constitution is upheld. Upheld meaning you protect it, you apply it, you make it a living thing by which a country governs its country every day. So you cannot govern a country without the Constitution. And the Constitution balances the obligations of the government, the obligations of the citizens, for instance, to pay taxes, for instance, the obligations of the government to protect its citizens, and also uphold the Constitution and the law themselves. So balance is a really important element, this is, and in the Constitution is written down the principles according to which a country is governed. Principles according to which a country is governed, and which includes laws that are also written down to apply those principles and to make sure those principles are upheld and that the Constitution is upheld, like you can see here. Let's continue. More about that Constitution. All other laws, rules, and regulations have to be in line with the Constitution. Consistent. So if something is in line with the Constitution or is consistent, so consistent means it shouldn't contradict it. The laws, all the laws that you make should be in harmony, they should be consistent, they should be in line with the Constitution. So in our parliament in the Staten, they make new laws. Last year they made a law about animal protection in 2024. They're also working on a law that reduces single plastic like they have in Bonaire, but they have to be consistent, they have to be in line, in harmony with the Constitution. They cannot contradict it. If a proposed law is proved to be contradictory of the Constitution, so if a proposed law is proved to contradict the Constitution or violate, so it doesn't really is in line with the Constitution, it violates it. Violate meaning here it contradicts it, it isn't in harmony with the Constitution, it is unconstitutional, it's not constitutional. Unconstitutional, meaning here not constitutional, and will be void or annulled. Void. So void means here it's not in effect, it will be void. It's a real weird saying, but if something is null and void, that's in English, it actually means it doesn't go. But if it's unconstitutional, it is not, it violates, it's not in harmony with the Constitution, it's not in line with the Constitution, this law is void. It doesn't count, it isn't in effect. It won't be applied by the police and the judges, it is void. It doesn't count. In English we also say something is null and void, it doesn't count. It's unconstitutional. And the role of the judges, Cas de Corte, the judicial, protects the Constitution, very important role of the judiciary, and the rights of citizens, and limite, beperkt in Dutch, it's limits. So the government doesn't have unlimited power. The Constitution limits the power of government. Very important. So the power of government is not unlimited by the Constitution. As you can see here, the Constitution limits the power of government, because it says what the government can do and what the government cannot do. So I hope that was clear. The judicial role protects the Constitution, the document that I'm now cleaning up, and the rights of citizens, and limits, this is really important, the power of government is not unlimited. The judicial role limits the power of government. That's a very important job, task, function that the Constitution has. And this task of the Constitution is upheld by what we call the judiciary, the Cas de Corte, the collection of judges appointed to protect the Constitution. That is their important role. They protect the Constitution, and they also limit the power of government. And who does this? The judiciary. That's a very important role for the judiciary in this all. Let's continue. The government is limited in its power. Like I said, the government does not have unlimited power. The government has limited power, and this power is limited by the Constitution. And why is this so important? When the government would go terrorize its people, when the government would do things that make the people not give their opinion anymore, or not able to express their opinion online or in the newspapers or in a journal, or just towards their neighbor, when you don't feel free anymore in society, when the government puts a reign of terror towards its people by locking them up, by threatening them, by naming certain people as enemies of the people, or as vermin, or as terrorists. If the government starts to turn against their own people, the government protects the people from, not the Constitution protects the people from the government. So by the Constitution, the power of the government is limited. By the Constitution, limited its power. Why is this so important? That the power of government is limited, because in some countries we have seen in the past, and actually right now, that the government starts to turn towards its own people, terrorize its own people. And to prevent that, we have the Constitution, a very important document that protects the citizens and limits the power of government. I hope that's clear. I hope this video was very clear, like I said just 5 seconds ago. And if you have questions, you can post them below. If you want to subscribe, you can do that, I believe, next to me. If you want to go to the next video, you can also probably do that next to me when I've finished the next video, part 2 of this series of 3. And if you have an improvement on my English or Papiamento, you can do that below. Or ask a very deep question about this topic, you can also do that below. And for now, I wish you a nice morning, afternoon, or evening, and I hope to see you soon during class. Goodbye.